video is to get you oriented in Fusion 360 as you start to design for the first time. So one thing to do is to go get a mouse. If you haven't already, it's much easier to navigate this program using a mouse. And then the first thing we'll do is a little bit of orbiting here. I'm going to turn on my origin with this little thing over here so you can see which angle I'm going from. This eyeball turns on my origin, and I can zoom in, zoom out using the scroll wheel on the mouse. I can pan side to side by clicking the scroll wheel and then moving the screen from side to side like this. And I can also orbit by holding Shift and then clicking the scroll wheel and moving the mouse to orbit around that central point where I clicked with my mouse. All right. Next thing I want to show us is how to save your files, change your document settings, and get started with a design. So I'm going to first save this file. I'm going to be designing a example stool this time, so I'll call this example stool, and I'm going to save it in my general file. Do not save an admin project. Click this little down arrow here, and then create a new project that's called your name, and then you're going to select that project and save inside of that project in here. Do not save an admin project. Next thing we're going to do is change our document settings. If you go to the browser over here, this is your browser. If it gets moved around, you can put it back in the corner over here with this green line. It lines it over here where it normally should go. And then you want to go down to document settings and change your units from millimeters to inches if it's your first time designing, and then set as default so it'll stay that way. Millimeters are great, probably a better system, but my shop is set up for using inches, so we're going to keep using it that way. Okay, next thing we're going to do is look at the different menus we've got here. Anything you create is going to show up over here in your browser. You'll see something show up there soon. If you click these 9 squares up in the corner, you can see your data panel where all of your files are stored. There's a much more you could do in here, but mostly just make sure you can see what you've saved in here so you know you'll get it back, and don't save an admin project. I'm going to close this. In here you can switch between the different workspaces in Fusion. We'll use design and manufacture and maybe a little bit of simulation, but mostly design. Do not switch between these over here. We almost never do except when we're making gears or doing something a little bit different. Mostly stay in the solid modeling. And in solid modeling you'll see the create window here, in the modify window, and we'll use a little bit of assemble and some construct and insert as well. So we're going to go first to create and then create sketch, which is also here, because almost all the time we start with a two-dimensional drawing. All right, I'm going to get into actual design in a second, but that's just how you orbit, how you zoom, how you orbit using the scroll wheel, clicking the scroll wheel and holding Shift, and how you pan by using the clicking the scroll wheel without holding Shift. All right,